Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining IME webinar sessions. And today, our topic is talk about gain control of your data with Enterprise PDM. Great to see you all today. I'm Ken Fong, Senior Data Management Engineer from IME Technology Shenzhen Berhad. Things to learn for today is talk about EPDM versus basic window functions. Most of the people using Window Explorers to manage their file, right? However, there are manual ad hoc approach that do not give any benefits to you, such as external hard disks that might have the potential or risk of the file easily being leaked out from your company, share folders, Dropbox, and FTPs. This kind of methods is good for sharing, but they are not cooperative, because you might have people to overwrite the file without notice you, and you do not do any versioning control at all, and most likely you are put the responsible to the users. So what is the things or what kind of advantages that can be obtained by using SolidWorks Enterprise PDM over the plain and basic window file management system? First of all, what is PDM system anyway? And PDM system in Wikipedia's is defined this is the business functions management tools that helps in product lifecycle management that is responsible for the management and publications of product data. And what is product data? Product data is referring to the files and information throughout the process of product development. Many people will say file management or informations of those engineering documents we can easily use Window Explorer to do. But I say no, it's very hard, and most of your peoples or the employees, engineers and designers will utilize up to or more than 50% of their working time is just focused in file management. That is not the core activity, suppose. So what are the things that most of the engineers and designers or your employees require to manage? First of all, the files which whereby schematic diagrams, CAD drawings, material data sheets, specifications, engineering change notes that created by Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Documents, PowerPoints, and so on. And all of these files and documents acquired or obtain many important informations for you to reuse them, search them, and create a database of your company, such as part number, descriptions, the suppliers and vendors, the unit of measures, materials, it costs, and other important information. I've been scooped down all these things into three important aspects of this document management. First is the file properties, which is the metadata, the file informations, references, which refer to 3D CADs, that you have part assemblies and drawings, which associativities or associate with each other, and you also can refer the documents for all these design data, such as engineering change notes. And versioning control is also one of the very important aspects as well, because we want to make sure the whole process operations is getting the correct data at the right time, such as the drawing revisions. Now we're going to have a look on how plain Window Explorer works, and then how SolidWorks Enterprise PDM can help in this case. First of all, let's talk about a little bit on the essentials, the most basic things, how the data storage or the way of data being stored. Windows is actually multiple local indexes, just like a bookstore that been scattered around in your company. All this information could be duplicated or being copy paste at different location. You are hardly to find the latest revision and which is the correct revisions or being edited or being overridden by other people's. We do not have any track records as well. However, by utilizing Enterprise PDM, you will make all this centralized into one single server, or we call it as one centralized index. For the latest revisions, all the history trackings, and you require to have the permissions or the security access in order to locate the files and access them, and whereby you also can do a digital approval process within the system as well. How about the folder structures? By using Windows, normally we are putting or manually create the files in the server and we store all the information at there. Most likely we are referred to the user responsible to handle them, such as document control. By using Enterprise PDM, you can define the project templates, or we call it the project folder structures, by just a few clicks. You can even key in the project information for later searching use. For file standardization, we normally require to refer the user's responsibilities or rely on them to be mature enough to find the correct forms or files to be used. Sometimes human makes errors. We cannot make sure every time people follow the rules. However, by using the system, Enterprise PDM can preset the file template into the system when the time you would like to create some standardized documents. Let's see how these two things works. Now I'm go to the Window Explorers. By using normal Windows, we are requiring to create the project structures one by one. We go to Need, Create New Folders, and we type in our own preferred name for each of the file folders. Human might make mistake, and it's very messy if you have different kind of typings arrow handled by different people. And the subfolder, we still require to create the subfolder by manual creation as well. It's very tedious, and by the time we need to create a standard form, for example the sales inquiry form, we need to copy from the master copy and put into the folder that we want. We paste it, and then we rename it into the file name that we want. Then we open it and start to key in the information from here. It's very tedious, and sometimes you might make mistake. It's also very tedious when the file is not in a read file content. We some more require to change it to read only. Then we only can able to replace them. However, by using ePDM system, we require to log in order to connect to this connection point of server. From here, we can able to see or read the only permitted folders. To create the projects, we not required to create a folder one by one. We can even create from the root folder and go to select the project templates that we preset. A window will pop up. We can key in the information that we want to create a project. and choose the information that we want and hit the OK button. The project folder structure will be created and all the subfolder already been generated, whereby when the time you want to create the sales enquiry, we just require to reuse the preset documents by click on it. A form will be generated and all the information will be keyed in automatically, and also the serial number, and you can further key in if you want, and we hit the create file to create the file, and the document will be generated. We will know who accessing the file. When we open the file, the information will be filled in. What you need to do is just to continue to use the document. Save it and check into the system. While you check in, the file will be put into the system, whereby you have the status of the file. Just now, the demonstration is to show how these two things differentiate the Windows and also the Enterprise PDM. As you can see, when the time we create a file, the properties of the file can be managed easily by using the data card links. However, if you are just using normal window base, you are fully required to let the user to key in all the information into the Excel file by duplicated data entry. Okay, talk about the referencings. The referencing of the SolidWorks files is totally rely on the user responsibility as well. When the time they rename the file, move the file, they need to manually open the file and repair the file one by one. However, by using Enterprise PDM, whenever you have any file updates or change the file or move the files, the software will be automatically help you to resolve them. Let's see how this thing works. Let's just go back to the Window Explorer again. Now I have a file from here, okay, whereby I try to open this file into my SolidWorks. Okay, the file is already been opened easily, and when the time we go to the file referencing, all the document is put under the folder that we have just now. Now I'm going to do just a simple changes of this locking pin to pin, and now I'm trying to open back this document from here. When the time we try to open, by using normal Window Explorer, we are unable to auto update the reference, and we require to browse for the file, and sometimes we might forget where we put the files. However, I know the file is actually the pin, so I just select back the pin and manually repair them. It's very tedious if you do not know where the files come from or forget where you save the file. Let's just do a changes or a testing on EPDM. Now I'm going to copy all this file into EPDM system, whereby just now we have the engineering document, and I put all the file into this cat folder. I paste all the file into the EPDM system. Okay, I make sure this file is called locking pin, whereby to fulfill just now the requirement. I check in this file now into the system. So when the time I click on the light, I will get all the referencings of the file, the bill of materials, where the file contains, it contains all these documents, and where this file being used. And this will be the drawings. And we also have the grid preview from here. So when we click on this, you can integrate the preview from here. You can zoom in, zoom out, and this is even support for the drawing as well. Okay, now I'm going to open this file in SolidWorks again. It will ask for checkout for editing, but now I'm not going to check this out. The file opened without any problems. Now I close it. So I'm going to change this file into pin again. And even I create a new folder. I move all these files into this folder. Now I'm going to click on this part and I open it in SolidWorks again. EPDM is easily handle the changes of the file, moving or rename. When we go to the file reference, you will find back the file automatically from the location that you have been located in the system. Do you think it's easy to be used? And this is a very great function. Talk about the versionings and the file management. To use the window, normally we require to save the file as another copy, and it based on how the user working behave. But for EPDM, it will help you to do the auto versionings. Let's have a look on the Window Explorers. Talk about the files of these documents. If let's say I want to create a new file or a new copy, we require to select this file, copy, and then paste, and we might rename it into R2. And we continue. To create the file and save it, and we have the second version of the file. But in EPDM, we no require to do that because we can quickly go to the file. Let's see the detail view, and I want to do some changes from here. I just require to check out the file, open it, and then edit it. Save the file, and then close it, and check in back the file into the system, and it will become a second version. So now you will get the second version from here as an update. So from here we can go to the get version and go back to the previous version, and whereby here do not have any changes. The system will help you to do the file management of the versioning automatically. Last but not least is the searching function. If you want to find back the file in Windows basic format, we require to use the Windows desktop search that only able for us to search the file name only. However, by using Enterprise PDM, we can using different kind of criteria for search the file. Not only the file name, but we can find the properties of the file, such as part number, created by who, the status of the file, and so on. Let's see how this thing works. When we go to the normal Windows, when the time you want to find back the file, require to key in the information from here. For example, I remember SE, so I just only able to find the file by using the file name. What if you are not remember the file names? So for EPDM, we can enable us to using the search function from here to find back the file. We not only able to use the file name SE, then we can get back the file, but we can also utilizing the data card. For example, I can find the file that or the project files that created by me. So such as I want to find all the files that created by admin. Then I get all the files that created by admin. I can even check them by checking on the talliness of the files. Not only that, we can also find what is the file they are currently in what kind of status. For example, I just want to find all the under editing file and I search. So I get all the under editing file and I want to combine it with SolidWorks drawings only. We can further filter them and you can get back the file easily. We can easily get back the file and we just require to open the file to the system that we want, such as SolidWorks files, and you can manage them as well within the SolidWorks interface. You can go for submit for approval with the digital approval process, and the file will change it from under editing to waiting approval. It's pretty easy to be used and user friendly. That's all that I want to compare and find out the major differences between using Windows and EPDM. Let me make a summary from here. The data storage, whereby Windows is using multiple indexes that stay and store the file into different computers in your engineers or departments, designers' computers. Enterprise PDM, it makes all the files centralized and you can control them much more easier. The folder structures, by using Windows, the user require manual create them, but EPDM can preset them. As well as the file standardizations, file properties management, reference management, and version management. All this is required to rely on the user's responsibility and their accountabilities to create them and manage them. What if a new user just joined the company? However, by Enterprise PDM, you can standardize all these things. For example, the files and form required, you can actually preset them as a file templates. The file properties can be linked by using the data card, and therefore the user just need to key in one time and all the information will be filled in into your documents. The references of the 3D CADs can be auto updated whenever you move. Just rename them. The version management, whereby the system will auto help you to do the revision control. And last but not least, the searching function EPDM over Windows is much more powerful, whereby you can using different criteria to find back the file or make it as a short report. And this is how you can gain advantages of using EPDM over Windows. In fact, Enterprise PDM has more benefits, but we didn't show you today, such as electronic workflow for approval process, automatic notification to create or improve the communication within your team. It can be used to manage different kind of CATs and other kind of file formats. The administration tools is easy to be used to do all the settings, and how SQL Server helps in database server management. That's all for my presentation. I'm Ken Fong, Senior Data Management Engineer. If you have any enquiry, feel free to Skype me, and my Skype ID have been shown on screen, or email me at skfong@catcam.com.my. Thank you for joining the webinar, and hope to see you again.